A reunion of sorts for Chien-Ming Wang and Davey Johnson in New York as we get the chance to head back out to Citi Field and join our very own Debbie Taylor. And Debbie, just an exciting week, I know, for Chien-Ming Wang to be able to come back there. And Davey Johnson, who got a chance to have his first managing job with the Nationals in New York yesterday. Was it nice for him to get back to the Big Apple?
Well, it's been terrific for both of them to be here in New York. They both were a part of bringing championships here, and Davey, of course, helping to build that 1986 World Series champion. And, of course, last night was the first time he managed for the Nationals against his former team, and earlier we chatted about that.
Oh, it's been a lot of fun. You know, I've got a lot of friends here, and they've been real cordial and nice to me. And the Mets were real nice last night, you know, letting us win the ballgame.
Have you had a chance to catch up with any of your former players, Mookie Wilson or Ron Darling or any of the others?
Well, you know, I've heard Ron on the air enough. He's a lot smarter than I am now. But I spent the day with Dale Strawberry. We went to luncheon together, and it was fun catching up with him and seeing what he was up to and reminiscing about the old days.
Davey, when you look back on 1986, when did you know something special was brewing and you had a winner?
Well, actually, we talked about that this afternoon. In 1984, we came, the year before 83, we were like last place or fifth place, something, not a very good team. And I came up and brought with me a young pitcher named Dwight Gooden. That gave us a shot in the arm. But we got outscored that year by 18 runs, and we're 18 games over 500. It was kind of a miracle year. The next year, in 85, we won 98 games and just lost out to the Cubbies. We improved over the winter, added a couple more players, and I knew we were in a position to win. In fact, as we were talking about in spring training, I told the guys, not only are we going to win this year, we're going to dominate. And that was the tone we took out of spring training. And of course, history bore us out. We won 108 games in the World Series. And so we had a good time talking about that.
Davey, yesterday you talked about some of the similarities between your former organization and the Nationals. And what do you think is going to speed up the process or keep the Nats on the same path to that success?
Well, what the learners are doing in the organization, they've spent a lot of money on the minor league system. And you build from the bottom up. And I really like what they've done, and they've done an outstanding job, very admirable job. A lot of patience to do that. But it reminds me a lot of the years I spent with the Mets over here. Our system was really good. It was growing. And I see that same thing with the Nationals organization. And we're maybe a year behind in the minor league system for having all the players in place that can really feed the big league club, but we're close, a lot closer than we were.
I can't talk to you about 86 without mentioning Ray Knight. How integral was he to your success that season?
Well, I mean, he was very integral. One of the reasons that we acquired Ray is Hojo was a great third baseman. We got him in a trade with Detroit for a guy named Walt Terrell, but Hojo had a problem hitting against left-hand pitching. But once we picked up Ray Knight, that quit. And, of course, he was the MVP in the 86 World Series. But he really had great years for us. And Whitey gave up in 86, and I think at the end of April. We swept him in St. Louis. He said nobody's going to catch the Mets. But it was for players like Ray Knight on the ball club.
And of course, Ray and Davey will always be baseball heroes here in New York. And it's always a lot of fun to reminisce about those old days. And Ray, everybody here says hello, asks how you're doing. Of course, we tell them you're doing great. Back to you, Byron, Ray.